Hello viewers, how are you? Welcome to my channel Physics with Rams. So today we are going to solve some of the numericals which are being covered in the previous NEET as well as IIT. So now the first numerical is a particle starts sliding down a frictionless inclined plane. If Sn is the distance travelled by it from time t equals to n minus 1 second to t equals to n second, then the ratio of S suffix n by S suffix n plus 1 is. So here in this they had represented that a particle is sliding down a frictionless inclined plane. Whereas in this case here the distance travelled by the body in the distance is given as S suffix n equals to u plus a by 2 into 2n minus 1. S suffix n equals to u plus a by 2 into 2n minus 1. Whereas here observe that since the body is sliding down the inclined plane, its initial velocity is 0. Initial velocity is 0. Then if we substitute this value, we have Sn is equal S suffix n equals to 0 plus a by 2 into 2n minus 1. 2n minus 1. So now based on this, here for n plus 1th second, the distance travelled by the body is equal to 0 plus a by 2 into n plus 1 minus 1. N plus 1 minus 1. So here from this we have S suffix n plus 1 equals to a by 2 into 2n plus 2 minus 1. Whereas observe that 2 minus 1 is nothing but 1. Then we have S suffix n plus 1 is equal to a by 2 into 2n plus 1. Now we have to find the ratio of S suffix n by S suffix n plus 1. So if we divide these two equations, then here we get S suffix n by S suffix n plus 1 is equal to a by 2 into 2n minus 1 by a by 2 into 2n plus 1. So here a by 2 gets cancelled. So we get the ratio as 2n minus 1 by 2n plus 1. We'll continue. Take a screenshot. Now we are going to see the next numerical which has been asked in NEET 2016 phase 2. And in this numerical, observe that two cars P and Q start from a point. They had been started from a point at the same time in a straight line. They are moving in a straight line and their positions are represented as, observe that our position, first car position is represented as x suffix p of t is equals to at plus bt square, and x suffix q of t is equals to ft minus t square. At what time do the cars have the same velocity? Now we have to find a particular time the two cars should have same velocity. In order to find this, first of all, let us find out the velocity of the car P as well as car Q. So in order to find this here, first of all, observe that the position is given as x suffix p of t is equal to at plus bt square, and x q of t is equal to ft minus bt square. We know that velocity is nothing but rate of change of position. Velocity is nothing but rate of change of position. Then velocity of the car P is equal to d by dt of x suffix p of t, which is equal to d by dt of at plus d by dt of bt square. So here a is constant and b is also a constant. Then a differentiation of t is nothing but 1. d by dt gets cancelled. So we get 1. Whereas b is a constant. So here we write differentiation of t square nothing but 2t. 2t. From this we can write it as velocity of the p at time t is a plus 2bt. a plus 2bt. Whereas velocity of the car Q is given as v suffix q is equal to d by dt of x q of t. Then where we know that the position of car Q is d by dt of ft minus t square. So here if we separate this differentiation, we have d by dt of ft minus d by dt of t square. So f is a constant, so if we write it outside, then dt by dt gets cancelled, we get 1 minus d by dt of t square is nothing but 2t. So from this here we get a velocity of q at a time t is f minus 2t. Now we have to represent the time when these two velocities are same. So in order to represent, so if we equate both these equations, then here we have a plus 2bt is equals to f minus 2t. If we bring this 2t towards this side and send this a towards this side, then we have 2bt plus 2t is equals to f minus a. So if we take a t as common, then we have t into 2b plus 2 is equals to f minus a. And here from this we can also write it as a t is equals to f minus a by 2 into b plus 1. This represents the time at which both the cars are having same velocity. Take a screenshot and we will continue with the next problem. And the next problem is being asked in IIT 2011. Observe that a particle covers a distance with constant acceleration. Observe that here we are going to consider constant acceleration. So we can apply kinematic equations from A to B. Body has moved from A to B. Its initial and final velocities are u and v. Initial velocity is u and final velocity is v. Next, what we have to find? We have to find the velocity at the midpoint. We have to find the velocity at the midpoint. So here, in order to find this, let us consider the total distance travelled by the particle is being considered as s. Then at the midpoint means exactly half of the distance. So up to this point, let us consider it as c. Here at up to point C, the distance travelled by the particle is s by 2, and from C to B, the distance travelled by the particle is next s by 2. Now based on this, now we have to find the velocity at the point C. In order to find this, let us consider the velocity at point C is v dash. Now since we had considered constant acceleration, let us consider the equation v square minus u square equals to 2as. So here for the total length of the particle travelled from point A to B, it is being represented as v square minus u square equals to 2as. For half of the distance, this kinematic equation can be represented as v dash square minus u square equals to 2 into a into distance is s by 2, a into s by 2. So now what we have to do is we have to divide both these equations. As we divide both these equations, here we have v square minus u square by v dash square minus u square equals to 2as by 2a into s by 2. 2a into s by 2. Observe that 2a gets cancelled and here s gets cancelled. Here observe that 1 by 1 by 2. So we can write it as 2. So from this here we can write it as v square minus u square by v dash square minus u square equals to 2. 2 by 1. If we cross multiply this equation, we have v square minus u square equals to 2 v dash square minus 2u square. So send this minus 2u square towards this side. So the sign of this 2u square changes. Then we can write it as 2 v dash square equals to v square minus u square plus 2u square. 2u square minus u square, which is nothing but u square. Then we can write it as v square plus u square. From this equation we have 2v dash square is equals to v square plus u square. From this v dash square equals to v square plus u square by 2. From this we have v dash equals to under root of v square plus u square by 2. It represents the velocity at the midpoint. Take a screenshot. We will continue with the next problem. So here the next problem is asked in IIT 2003. Observe that the coordinates of a moving particle at any time t are given by x equals to alpha t cube and y is equals to beta t cube. The speed of the particle at this time is given by. Now we have to find the speed of the particle based on this position along x and y axis. So here where alpha and beta are constants. So here in order to find the velocity, observe that the position of the body along the x axis is given as x equals to alpha t cube and the position of the body along the y axis is given as y is equals to beta t cube. Now we have to find the velocity along the x axis as well as along the y axis. Then based on that, velocity along the x axis is equals to dx by dt, which equals to d by dt of alpha t cube. Alpha t cube. So here as we differentiate this equation, alpha is constant, we can write it separately. Then we have 3 into t square. So the equation is 3 alpha t square. Now we have to find the velocity along the y axis. Then we can represent it as velocity along the y axis equals to dy by dt, which is equals to d by dt of beta t cube. D by dt of beta t cube. Based on that we can write it. Since beta is constant, we will write it separately. Then we have d by dt of t cube is nothing but 3 t square. So from this we have 3 beta t square. Now we have to represent the speed of the particle at this time. So since we have to find the speed of the particle is given as v equals to under root of vx square plus vy square, where vx equals to 3 alpha t square, 3 alpha t square whole square plus vy square is nothing but 3 beta t square whole square. So from these two equations, here we can take a 3t square as common, and here 3t square whole square, which is nothing but 3t square. We can write it as a 3t square into alpha square plus beta square. It represents the speed of the particle at a time t. Take a screenshot. We will continue with the next problem. So the next problem is a particle of unit mass. A particle of unit mass undergoes one-dimensional motion. Here the particle is moving along one-dimensional such that its velocity varies according to the equation. Here the velocity is varying according to the equation v of x equals beta into x to the power of minus 2n, where beta comma n are constants and x is the position of the particle. X is the position of the particle. Now we have to find the acceleration of the particle as a function of x, and to represent the acceleration of the particle as a function of x. So in order to find this, let us consider the acceleration equation. We know that a is equals to dv by dt. In this case, the velocity is not represented in terms of time, it is being represented in terms of position. So for that, what we do is we just multiply and divide with dx. Multiply and divide with dx. From this we have a equals to dv by dx into dx by dt, where we know that rate of change of position is nothing but velocity. Then we can write it as v into dv by dx. Now let us substitute the value of v in this equation. So from this here we have a is equals to v is nothing but beta into x to the power of minus 2n into d by dx of beta into x to the power of minus 2n, x to the power of minus 2. So now we have to differentiate this beta into x to the power of minus 2n. where beta is a constant, so we can bring it outside, then we can write it as a equals beta into beta square into x to the power of minus 2n into d by dx of x to the power of minus 2n. So here first we have to differentiate for power, then we can write it as minus 2n into x to the power of minus 2n minus 1, x to the power of minus 2n minus 1. If we simplify this equation, we have minus 2n into beta square. Observe that bases are same, so we can add these powers, then we can write it as x to the power of minus 2n minus 2n minus 1. Minus 2n and minus 2n, nothing but minus 4n. So we can write the acceleration as minus 2n beta square into x to the power of minus 4n minus 1. This represents the acceleration as a function of position. Take a screenshot. We will continue with the next problem. The next problem is being asked in NEET 2011. Observe that a body is moving with a velocity 30 meter per second towards east. So in the east direction, the body has been traveled with a velocity of 30 meter per second. After 10 seconds, its velocity becomes 40 meter per second towards north. Now we have to find the average acceleration of the body. In order to find the average acceleration of the body, we have to find the velocity. In order to find this, first of all, let us consider the directions: east, west, north and south. Initially, the body has travelled with a speed of 30 meter per second along the east direction, nothing but x-axis. And next, after 10 seconds, the body has changed its direction and started moving along the north direction with a speed of 40 meter per second. So now, based on this velocities, now we have to find the resultant velocity. Whereas the resultant velocity is given as v bar equals v suffix xi plus v suffix y into j. So here then it can be represented as v suffix x is nothing but velocity along the x-axis is nothing but 30 I plus velocity along the y-axis is 40 j. Now we have to find the resultant velocity's magnitude. It is given as v bar equals to under root of 30 square plus 40 square. We know that 30 square is nothing but 900 and 40 square is nothing but 1600. 1600 plus 900 is nothing but 2500. So under root of 2500 is 50 meter per second. Now we have represented the resultant velocity. Based on this resultant velocity's magnitude, now we have to find average acceleration, where we know that average acceleration is equals to velocity, average velocity per time. So from this, here the velocity is 50 by time is 10 seconds. So here 0 gets cancelled. So the average acceleration is 5 meter per second square. So take a screenshot. We will continue with the next problem. The next problem is a particle is moving with velocity v bar equals to k into yi plus xj, where k is a constant. Now we have to represent the general equation for its path. Observe that this problem is asked in IIT 2010. So in order to represent that, here initially the velocity is given as v bar equals to k into yi plus xj. So the velocity is represented here, where we know that the resultant velocity is given as v bar equals to vxi plus vyj. Vxi plus vyj. Where we know that v suffix x is equals to dx by dt and v suffix y equals to dy by dt. If you substitute these two equations in this equation, then we can represent this v bar equals to dx by dt into I plus dy by dt into j. So if we equate both these equations, then we can write it as dx by dt equals to y and dy by dt is equals to x. dy by dt equals to x. Now if we divide both these equations, then we can write it as dy by dt by dx by dt is equals to x by y. Here dt gets cancelled. From this we have dy by dx is equals to x by y. Now if we cross multiply this equation, so here observe that y into dy is equals to x into dx. Now integrate this equation. So as we integrate this equation, y into dy, which is nothing but y square by 2 equals to x into dx, x square by 2, integrating constants. So if you take 2 as a common, we have y square is equals to x square plus 2c, which is also considered as constant. Then we can write it as y square equals to x square plus a constant. X square plus a constant. It represents the result. Take a screenshot and we will continue with the next problem. The next problem is a bus is moving with a speed of 10 meter per second. Here the speed of a bus is 10 meter per second. On a straight road, a scooterist wishes to overtake the bus in a time of 100 seconds. In a time of 100 seconds. If the bus is at a distance of 1 kilometer from the scooterist, with what speed should the scooterist chase the bus? So here this problem is asked in NEET 2009. Observe that here the distance between the scooterist and the bus is 1 kilometer, nothing but 1000 meters. So now the scooterist has to chase the bus with a time of 100 seconds. So he has to touch the bus or cross the bus within this time. So now with what speed the scooterist has to travel so that he can chase this bus. Now we have to find this. In order to find this, let us find the relative velocity. Whereas the relative velocity is given as velocity of the scooter with respect to bus is equals to distance 1000 meters. 1000 by within a time of 100. So here 2 zeros gets cancelled. So we can write the velocity of the scooterist with respect to bus equals to 10 meter per second. 10 meter per second. Whereas the velocity of the scooter with respect to bus is equals to velocity of the scooter minus velocity of the bus. So here we have velocity of the scooter with respect to bus is equals to 10. Then 10 is equals to velocity of the scooter. Velocity of the bus is minus 10. From this, if we send this 10 towards this side, we have velocity of the scooter equals to 10 plus 10, which is equals to 20 meter per second. So in order to chase this bus, the scooterist has to travel with a speed of 20 meter per second. Then with this speed, he can chase the bus within this time 100 seconds. Take a screenshot. We will continue with the next problem. The next problem is being asked in IIT 92. Here also that on a straight road, a particle covers first half distance with a speed 3 meter per second, and for remaining half distance, it take equal time intervals with velocity 4.5 meter per second and 7.5 meter per second. Now we have to find average speed. Consider a straight road. So here the initial and final points are represented as AP. Up to half of the distance, particle has covered with a speed of 3 meter per second. So here half distance, let us consider it as S by 2. So next, here the time taken in order to travel this half distance s by 2 is considered as t1. Next, remaining half distance is covered within a time of t2, and remaining half distance is represented as s by 2. But here he had represented that this t2 has been split into two time intervals as t and t. The first time interval is traveled with a velocity of 4.5 meter per second, and the next half time interval is traveled with a speed of 7.5 meter per second. So here the distance traveled within this time interval with the speed is represented it as s1, and the distance traveled within this with this speed within a time interval of t is represented as s2. So here observe that s1 plus s2 is equals to s by 2. So I am going to write this. Observe s by 2 equals to s1 plus s2. s1 plus s2. So here, and we observe that at the total time t2 is equals to t equals to t plus t, t plus t, which is nothing but 2t. t equals to 2t. Now let us consider the first half. From this first half, speed is equals to distance by time. You know that speed equals to distance by time. Here the distance is s by 2, by time is t1. From this, where the speed is represented as 3. From this equation here we can write it as 3 is equals to s by 2 t1. From this equation we can write it t1 equals to, if you bring this t1 towards this side and send this 3 towards this side, then we have s by 2 into 3, 6. For the next half, we know that s by 2 is equals to s1 plus s2. From this equation here we have s1 is equals to velocity 4.5 into t, time t, whereas in the same way s2 is equals to velocity 7.5 into time t. So now if we substitute the values of s1 and s2 in this equation, we can write it as s by 2 equals to s1 is 4.5 t plus 7.5 t. So here as we add this 4.5 plus 7.5 is nothing but 12 t. s by 2 equals to 12 t. This equation here we have s by, if we send this we require 2t. So send this 6 towards this side, we have 2 into 6, 12. s by 12 is equals to 2t, nothing but t2. s by 12 equals to t2. Now let us substitute these values average speed. So here from this average speed is equals to distance, nothing but s by 2 plus s by 2 by time t1, s by 6 plus s by 12. So from this s by 2 is nothing but s. If you take s as common, we have LCM 12, 2 plus 1. S and s gets cancelled, so we have 12 by 2 plus 1 is 3. So 3 fours. So the average speed is 4 meter per second. Take a screenshot. If you have any doubts, ping me in the comment box. Don't forget to subscribe and share this video to your friends. Thank you.